Jeff Snook. Dabo, you've always been great at college football history and the big perspective. Can you just summarize how this year might have been made for the playoff? The 4 teams are 51-1, 3 13-0 conference championship. And the old days, they go to the rose, sugar, and orange, but this is what the playoff was made for. Can you just put that into words?
Yeah, and everybody go do all that, and then everybody ooh and ah, and they vote a champion. You don't vote for it anymore. You got to earn this one, and so I think it's pretty cool. And if you think about it, you go back to there's been a lot of arguments over the years where, as an Alabama guy growing up in Alabama, I think it was the one. I think it might have been '66. I can't remember. Alabama people still mad about that, and Notre Dame's probably mad about a couple, and some other teams probably mad about some where they didn't get voted in. And even I think back then they even voted some national champions before bowl games, which is crazy. But anyway, it'd be pretty cool to be able to go back in time and take some of those teams, and get the top 4, and kind of do the playoff. So that's what we have. We have a really cool setup in college football in that. Me personally, I'm not for expansion of the playoffs. And a lot of people will say, well, heck, that's because y'all are in it every year. And I'm like, well, if we can get in it in 4, surely we can get in it with 8. It's not about that. It's not whether we get in it or not. I just like the tradition of bowl games. I love seeing some of these teams get to celebrate the finish of their season. Winning a bowl and getting the experience. There's 130 teams. I mean, if there were 32 teams, it'd be different. But you got 130 teams, and not everybody's going to win the national championship. But I think the committee has gotten it right since they've started this. I think they've gotten 4 great teams, and I think the best team has won every single year, and it's been played out on the field. And I think it's been awesome. So this particular year, 4 great teams that earn the opportunity to be here, and it's fun because again, you don't vote on it. You vote on a lot of things. There's a lot of things that get voted on out there, but you got to earn this. You got to earn it on the field, and it all comes down to those 4 quarters.
For both of you, Steve Hellwagon with 24/7 Sports. You guys played your championship games on December the 7th, and I assume if they told you were going to play this game on December the 8th, you would have been there because it means so much. But just how difficult has this 3-week turnaround been in your heart and in your mind? Don't you think that the semifinals of the college football playoff should always be played on January the 1st, regardless, 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 8 o'clock, whatever it is? Isn't that when this should be played? What's your thought about that? And would that make life simpler for you guys trying to execute this turnaround?
Well, for me, I would say yes. I would much prefer it to be on January the 1st. Just have consistency in that. And I've done that. I think we played on the first one here. Maybe it was the 31st. I can't remember which one it was. But I personally like being able to be home for Christmas and head out on the 26th and have your bowl prep. That's, to me, preferable. But we're just, hey, as you said, whatever they say, we'll do whatever we need to do. But I would love that. I know that the schedule and the NFL or whatever, I don't know what all dictates all that stuff, but this year's been a little different because of the way it was laid out, and the national championship, there's a bye week this year. That's another difference that the teams are going to have to manage in preparation for that, because it's a little unique. But the turnaround was the same for everybody. I think had there been a team that didn't play in a championship game, that would have been a little different. But all of us played in these games, and so we had the same amount of time. And I think the bigger challenge was for the players because they didn't get as much time off. And and then just usually in recruiting, we've had a couple of weeks to go recruit, and we really only had a week. So it was compressed for sure, but we, as he said, we kind of almost like just a little longer open date as opposed to bowl prep. But if I had my vote, I would say play them on the first and adjust everything else from there.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. Same thing. I'd like it to be on January 1st and keep it consistent. This has been a unique preparation, but it's been the same for both teams. And I do think, coming off of a long season and coming off of the championship game, it was a challenge to get our guys, rest enough and then prepared to play in this bowl game. But it was the same for both teams, and it is what it is. And again, that's kind of over my pay grade in terms of making decisions on this. But I would say that playing the game on January 1st would be nice, just to keep a tradition going.
We'll go far left with Doug.
Doug Lamer-Reeser from Cleveland.com. For Ryan, we know how good the Ohio State football program has been for the last several years. Playing now the defending national champion, Ohio State has not won a playoff game since 2014. I know it's not what you're concerned about, but how do you think the college football world looks at Ohio State right now? And with an opportunity like this, you guys have reached this point to play a team like Clemson. What do you think it would do for Ohio State football to win a game like this?
Well, I know that we're always in the conversation year in and year out, and have been since it started. What everyone's opinion is right now doesn't matter. What matters is Saturday night. When the game's over. When there's a lot of things that lead up to a game like this. There's a lot of hype that comes into it, but what matters is how we play. And we've had one heck of a year. This team has done a great job, and some of the things that have happened in the past really have nothing to do with this team, with this coaching staff. So we just focus on doing everything we can to play a great game, and we go from there. But we're going against great teams, and it's an honor to be part of the Final Four. And again, the focus is just playing well on Saturday night.
Thank you, Coach Day. Coach Swinney, we appreciate your time this morning. What we're going to do is we're going to go to the left on the trophy.